Hello and warm greetings from the Federation of the European National Collection Associations. My name is Rайna Mиткова and since last October I am part of FENCA board. I am also chairing the Bulgarian Collection Association and managing EOS Bulgaria. NAPKA is a very valuable part of FENCA, so I am really grateful having the opportunity to speak at NAPKA conference and to address all the challenges the collection industry is facing nowadays in Russia. Our main aim at FENCA is to promote and to set high collection standards and good practices across all Europe. We have our code of conduct, which is well accepted by all our members, and we are very strict in following where this code of conduct is abided by our members. Still, I should be honest and say that in many countries, and also including my own country, Bulgaria, the collection industry has a very controversial image. This is mainly true because of the unethical collection methods some of the collection companies used in the past, and this was also the case with some of the lenders. Fortunately, all these unethical methods belong to the past in many places now. These become true mainly because of regulations, mainly also because of international companies which entered the markets with a proven set of collection standards, and also thanks to a local association. The local association also set very high and good standards for collection, and having a local association makes very visible on the market which are the good companies, the companies who apply good and ethical collection practices, and which companies are still at the dark side of the market. If I may give you an example from my own country, what we managed to achieve in our association, which is also very young, like the case with NAPKA, is that nowadays creditors work predominantly with members of our association. We achieved this through having a very strict membership criteria and also code of conduct which is strictly followed by all our members. Because creditors are very much aware of their reputation and value their clients a lot, they feel safe working with companies belonging to our association. Why? Because we have a proven track record of using good collection practices, we have compliance procedures, we have our code of ethics. So nothing can happen to their debtors except of paying their money back. So speaking about regulations, I understand that there's a recent collection law which would be very soon passed in the State Duma. In Europe, there's a very diverse practice in regulating our business. In some of the countries exist very strict regulations, like the case in Greece is, like the case in UK is. They even have a regulation body there. In some of the countries, like the case in Germany, is the regulation mechanism are somehow loose. Anyhow, I believe that having a certain set of regulations is really healthy for the economy and for the collection industry, especially for young markets like the market in Russia is. At FENCA we are proactive, and we believe that we should even have a self-regulation mechanism in the industry. Collections is a very delicate and really a very touchy subject. We all deal with human destinies. We deal with people who have their difficulties. So it is really important how we deal with this person. And we also should remember that we are humans, and life could change for everybody of us. So we could also have a difficult debt situation. So how do we prefer to be addressed? Rude or by keeping our dignity? So really our code of conduct prescribes that talking to a debtor, dealing with a debtor, this we should do with respect and with keeping his or her dignity. At FENCA recently we have started a very good initiative. This is creating a pan-European code of conduct, and In this initiative, we will harmonize and unify all the code of conduct our members are using across Europe, and will promote one unified set of good collection practices. At a later stage, we will present this code of conduct also to the European Commission in Brussels, and we hope this to be the base of a future regulatory framework for the collection industry in Europe. NAPKA is also actively involved in this process, and we really rely very much on the active participation of all our members. Talking about regulations, we still need to remember that collections is an integral part of the financial industry. So limiting the collection efforts, we should be really careful in that, since it could badly affect the whole economy. And we have recent bad examples in that direction. So collection industry is something, it's a very old industry. Even the Roman Empire has collectors. So nowadays our role is much more to be a mediator between the creditor and its clients, and to try to find a good and suitable solution to satisfy both sides. Our role is much more educational. Financial products are something really new for the Eastern European markets. So as consumers, we still lack the habits and the knowledge how to use all these products properly. And sometimes this also leads to unpleasant debt situations. So our trained collectors talk to the client, they try to understand what is the situation and to advise and help the client find the best possible solution in that direction. So it is really important that we have a proven set of collection methods in our industry. Something I would like to address is that collections, we're dealing with money, and money is a circle in the economy. If a consumer takes a product or a service from a creditor and it doesn't pay in return, so the creditor itself will have its financial difficulties to meet its financial obligations. So it's really a circle, and we need to be careful and really to promote the good payment morale. Something I would also like to address in this direction is based on calculation and survey we did in Bulgaria about the percentage of the cost related to the bad debt. I'm mentioning it because this might be true also for Russia. So what we discovered in Bulgaria is that 5 to 20% of each bill we pay goes for the bad debt. So as a consumers, we all pay for the bad debts. So we really should consider that and be aware that promoting the good payment morale helps us all as consumers. So at FENCA we are really very much in favor of the good set of correct and ethical practices for the collection industry. At the same time, our advice would be to really be careful in limiting the collection activities, since this could harm the economy and also increase the burden we as good payers carry for the economy. So coming back to Russia and to NAPKA, there are really many benefits for NAPKA being part of an international umbrella organization like FENCA is. We have members from Europe, from Americas, Middle East, even from Africa, and our community is really diverse. So it's so much interesting sharing the knowledge and all the different good practices we have in the countries. Our pan-European Code of Conduct will be also the result of this knowledge exchange and this diversity. Last but not least, at FENCA we are part of several legislation projects which are really important for our industry. Just to name few, these are the recent European Directive for personal data protection, the insolvency framework, and also many others. Being part of FENCA, NAPKA is taking part in these important political decisions, and we really encourage our members being very active in that direction. Thank you once again for inviting me to speak at NAPKA conference. I hope what I said was maybe new or maybe useful for you. I wish very fruitful discussions, and спасибо и до свидания.